Finally, a swim analysis for Mabel. So let's get right to it. As you can see from the captions on these clips, there definitely are errors that we need to work on. Example number 1. This yellow line marks the direction that you're swimming in. Your left arm comes forward, but it enters the water crossed over and in front of your head. And now you've gone off your streamline and your head is leaning towards the right. Next, your body contorts and you waste your left arm pull on bringing your head back to the original position. Another look at your left arm swinging forward and crossing over in front of you. The problem with twisting or crossing errors is that your body has to adjust, and this usually leads to another swim error. Just like this over rotation where at the breath your arm is recovering at 90 degrees. And then this over rotation puts you in a bad position for the next phase of your stroke. Your shoulder is so tight at this extreme position, and so when you bring it forward, bam, dropped elbow and a flat arm entry. And here's your flat arm splash, and it is very hard to start your catch properly with a flat locked elbow entry. Here's a problem with breath timing and the pull form while you take your breath. Watch how your right arm pulls up and behind your body. Now you're over-rotated and your arm is at 90 degrees. At this point of the breath, your body should already be returning to neutral. But you're still twisted 90 degrees, which is bad for balance, and this is why you have a scissor kick at the back. Now, the correction of an over-rotation can be almost as bad. And you see how your body has to curve to come back to neutral. Late breath timing. The arm's about to leave the water, but you haven't started breathing yet. And this is the reason why at this point of the pull, where you should be close to neutral, you're still very much at 90 degrees. Here's the underwater view of you over the black line. Your left arm crosses over and your head and body end up twisted to the side. You know how we have drills where we talk about making sure that when you breathe, you have a lead arm in front to provide balance. Unfortunately, because of your late breath timing, you're forced to start pulling even if your body hasn't even started returning to neutral. Now, this 90-degree position is bad, not just for balance, but there is no force when your arm pulls your body through the water while it's on its side. So remember, at the peak of your breath, you should have an arm out in front of you for balance, and there is enough force to help you come back to neutral. And here we have your slice. You're barely past the halfway mark of your entire pull cycle underwater, but you are getting no force while your hand slices through the water this way. Here's another angle of your over-rotation, and you can see that there's no way for your arm to pull your body forward from this position. So your palm angles like a rudder and you use it to come back to neutral. We also need to highlight that you could improve your body position in the water. You can see that your hips are riding a little too low and your kick is too far apart. You can also see better how your hand slices the entire way until the end of the stroke. Now we'll focus on your left arm and how it pulls. Basically, you move forward if you push the water back behind you. Watch how your left arm pushes the water down for the most part until this point. Avoid this because you barely create any forward propulsion from pushing the water down. Remember to hinge at the elbow so that you can catch and start pushing the water behind you earlier in the stroke. The right arm is next. We see here that your elbow hits the water before your hand does. Biomechanically, it's impossible to hinge at the elbow if the elbow is dropped lower than your wrist. So what happens is that there's nowhere to go but down, and creating less forward propulsion that way. So the right side is a very straight arm pull. And we can see here that you're loading up mostly on smaller muscles like your traps and your shoulders instead of using your lats. From the back, you see just how straight your left arm pulls. This form is better for your shoulders and it's easier to maintain for longer distances. And the left arm slices as well. These heel-up kicks are usually a result of trying to come back from an over-rotation or during an over-rotation. So obviously, since this is outside of your body tube or streamline, it creates drag. You probably feel overwhelmed. Don't try to worry about it too much before the race. The best thing to do is to focus on your pull and making sure that you don't slice the water, and then work on everything else after the race. Thank you. Hope this helps. Good luck.